Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, American Dreams. It's only an hour and 23 minutes long. It's rated 5.1 on IMDb, but there's only 47 people who have rated it so far. It just came out. It stars Michiel Huisman. I remember him from Nashville, but he's been in a lot of different things. Luke Bracey is in it, and Stahl as well. I'm sure there's other people in it, but they're the ones that I see up front. It's about two brothers who have a construction project. They run out of money, so they end up working with the Russian mob, and of course things turn bad. And one of the guys has a Russian girlfriend, and she decides to get involved. And whatever happens from there happens. She's trying to help them, but I don't know. That's what we get from IMDb. So let me get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, and then ultimately let you know what I think as soon as I find my remote. So stick around. I'll be back. Oh, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Alright, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of American Dream. No check-in, hour and 23-minute film, right? So, it's kind of what they said it was. Stahl is our Russian mobster, okay? The other two guys, Michiel Huisman and Luke Bracey, are the two guys who, Luke Bracey, by the way, he did the Point Break remake. So that's where I recognize him from. But him and Michiel Huisman, the guy from Nashville, they're rebuilding an apartment building, essentially. And they're running low on cash. And Nick Stahl is at a wedding that they're at, and they start a relationship with him, hoping to get some of the money. They end up not needing the money from him because they went to they went multiple places, and the father gave them the money or something like that, whatever. So Nick Stahl gets upset and says, this looks bad now. Like, basically the way he was going to give them money was to launder the money through them. And then they declined the check for most of it, and then he gets upset and says, okay, you have to pay me as a consultant. They needed $700,000. He says, now pay me $7,000. And you would think they got the money, you could pay him, but anyway, that would not be the movie then. But of course they can't pay him for whatever reason, and then he puts interest on top of it, and he starts acting like a Russian mobster, doing different things to try and, twist their arm to pay him. But throughout the entire film, I get the sense that it's like he's not really in the mob, but he's trying to be. He's like a low-level guy. He's not a big-time gangster. He's got a right-hand man who's got muscle with him. But other than that, you don't see much. And he shows some signs of, toughness, whatever, like he means business. But it's hard to take him really seriously. But he keeps doing that to them and putting their job at risk, and then starting to threatening their relationships and their families and stuff like that. Meanwhile, one of the Michiel Huisman's, or whatever his name is, his girlfriend is Russian, and they have a part in the beginning, where something might have happened to her while she was in Russia, but now she's in America, and the IMDb says she gets involved. Well, that's not really the case. I mean, like, she gets involved a little bit at the end, but it's not like the way you read it is like, okay, these two guys are in trouble with this guy, and she comes in and saves the day. No. Not to spoil it for you, but that's not really what happens. She gets involved in the end, but IMDb is totally wrong. Anyway, that's what the plot's about. So, they're trying to figure out how they're going to pay this guy, how are they going to get this guy off their back so that they can build this apartment complex, right? And, stop him from threatening and everything like that. So that's what it's really about. It's okay. It's an hour and 23 minutes long, so you can imagine the lack of development that there is. Like, that's what I said, like this Nick Stahl, the gangster, you don't know enough about him to, like, think he's, to think much about him. And that's okay. It's got to develop, but it doesn't really. I mean, it develops in what you see, and it's still, by the end of the film, I don't know whether to take him seriously as a gangster or not. I mean, for the most part, like, how involved really was he? Or is he just a crazy guy? Which reminds me, he was in Bully. If you've ever seen Bully, that was a crazy movie too. That's what I always remember him from. But I don't know. It wasn't great. It's a mobster type movie, as you can see, and that's all that it really is. There's not much else to it. I like that. It's interesting. I like those two guys that play the apartment builders or whatever they are, contractors or construction guys. I don't know. They're in a lot, so I thought they were pretty good. And Nick Stahl's fun to watch too, but it just, I don't know. It's interesting to see the three of them. Not that they're A-list actors now, but they're all pretty good. And you would think in a film like this, maybe one of them would be in it, but all three of them are in it. But I think a lot of it was probably cut to make it an hour and 23 minutes. And it's your run-of-the-mill, everyday gangster type movie, just with different circumstances. That's what I get out of it. So, I don't know. Worth watching. I mean, you know, considering what else is out there, it's not awful. It didn't make me mad or upset, but it's nothing extraordinary. There you go. That's what I got for you. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. I'd probably give it a 5, I think. You know, so that's it. All right, that's all I got. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, I'd love to hear comments. Not one of my best reviews. I almost decided not to review this movie because I didn't know what else to say about it. But there it is. If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimball's Irish Pub.